Hi everyone, my name is Alexandra Mattison, and today we're going to be discussing the behind the scenes for Sally and the Pangolin. Now, growing up in South Africa, we were very lucky to have a lot of national parks and the big five and amazing creatures like the pangolin. And growing up, we used to visit some of these parks, and if we were very lucky, a game reserve. And I'm a very good animal spotter. Um, or at least I like to think so. And on many family trips, it was one of those things where I wasn't being a jerk or anything, but it's just how I am. And there could be three cheetahs walking behind the car that I've seen, but my family's looking out all the other windows trying to spot something. They got their binoculars out, cameras out, and I'm like, what are you trying to find? And they're like, no, there's cheetah. And I'm like, oh, but they're behind the car. It drives my family nuts. I don't do it on purpose, but it's that sort of scenario has actually happened quite a few times, and often when the family's together, we talk about these sort of stories. But even though I've managed to spot a lot of animals, as well as my family also spot animals, we have never seen a pangolin. And this is one of the animals that my mom always has on her list that she wants to see. And yeah, it's unfortunately we've never spotted one. They are very elusive and shy. And also they blend into the environment very well. So understandably so, we haven't seen one. And I think for many people, this is an animal that is on their list of must-see animals, if possible, right? So yeah, it's when this book obviously came out, when I started writing it, I then obviously knew I wanted to dedicate it to my mom, also for all her help and support along my journey in life, as a thank you. And then African Pangolin Working Group. Now, this group is amazing. I'm going to put a link to their website, Instagram, and any other. I think they might be on Facebook as well. I'll put the links in the menu above. They are literally boots on the ground, working with the police to catch the poachers, to rescue the pangolins that have been taken out of their natural environment and are about to be sold. And yeah, so they are heavily involved in pangolin rescue in South Africa, and that is why I chose them as the cause for this book to support. And I hope to raise a lot of awareness for pangolins through this book. Through my research, looking at their what they've taken photos of and their videos and all of that sort of thing, I never realized how playful they are, how sweet they are, really. I mean, I never thought they were monsters, but you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you lose that compassion, I guess, for wild animals. If you don't really know about them, you just like, oh, that's an animal, where actually they're more than that. They really are sweet little innocent creatures, and worthy of our protection and support. All animals are, but as these are the most poached mammals on the planet, I mean, we really need to turn the tide for them. We really need to start making a difference before we lose them all. Okay, so I'm just going to jump in to the book. well, to the drawing, sorry, to the illustration. So, now you're going to see something. Okay, well, if you've read the book, right, you'll notice straight away I drew a tail, but I never included the tail in the illustrations in the book. And also to draw this character, it took me, I want to say, about 4 days to finalize the detail and how I wanted him to look. So he took me quite a while, and it's just because of the intricacy of him. And I don't know if you've ever seen a drawing of a mandala. I kind of looked at that design, and that's kind of how I came with the design of his forehead. Yeah, just an interesting note there. And then also this picture, this illustration also took me a couple of days to figure out, because it's really beautiful, like how their whole shape, how their scales like overlap, and it's so intricate. It is so perfect, if I could put it that way. And to actually draw it isn't that easy, guys. It really it took me a while. Like, I could see it in my head, I could see it on the photo, but to get it onto paper was a whole mission on its own. And why did I cross this one out? So initially I had this one where he was peeping out, but then I redrew it, and then there we go. So that's the image where he's peeping out to check if it's safe, if it's clear. And also, I think I drew these out of order, which is my normal procedure. Oh, and then I drew these in February of 2021. Shame, he's hungry and alone, and his friends have been taken. And then this is when Sally runs into him and bumps him over, or knocks him over. And his little leaf with these ants go flying off, so his snack. I know that's not how they eat their food, but it's for illustrative purposes. I thought it was quite sweet. And then this is when he's looking at Sally, and he's like, oh my gosh, is this little girl going to now steal me, take me out of the bush or something? Shame. And then he's saying to Sally that we need to save the pangolins, we need to save his friends. And then they hatched a plan. Now, with all my other drawings where I've drawn a map or something like that, I actually did I looked at the map of the Kruger National Park, but obviously this is a very basic map of that. It's not very precise, but I used it to try and assist me to get this image going. And like you can see, we were plotted that the poachers were kind of in this area, and there were 2 teams that were going in to get them, like just to save the pangolins. And then they found their lair, the poachers' lair, with the pangolins that they had taken, and they'd put them in these cages. And as you can see, they're all peeping out and asking for help. And then that's it. Go to the final drawings. Oh, he's such a sweet little character, as they are in real life. Curled up in his little ball, all safe, hiding away. and then also put 2 images or 2 illustrations per page if I could, just to save paper. So he's peeping out. He was knocked over. I love this. Oh, and then these little lines here, that's just like to show his like, they kind of got like a little bit of like a fur on their underbelly, right? Or hairs. I wouldn't say that they're very furry from the images that I've seen of them, the photos and videos, but they do have something. Oh. This one. And as you can see, I actually did rub out and then put it in again how I wanted it. So sometimes I would come back after a while and change things as I kind of figure out with other characters. So I'm not quite sure when I drew him. I think I drew him before the shark, possibly guys, I'm not too sure. But I know that I did write Sally and the Pangolin last year, but it was later. It was so I'd written Logan and the Fox, and then I wrote Sally and the Pangolin. Well, it was after the first 4. Okay, it was after the first 4. This is book number 5, and but I may have written him a bit later, and not straight afterwards. Oh, sorry, I confused myself. I was like, where's the dedication? It's on the front page. Sorry, guys. Okay, so just to close off, I'm just going to read the dedication. Okay. I dedicate this book to my mother, Sally Ann Mattison. Thank you for always being there for me and supporting me on every step of my journey. I've always admired your passion for Africa's wildlife, and I hope that one day you'll get to see a pangolin in the wild. It's always been very important to my family for us to be in nature as much as possible and to get to know the big 5 and the animals in this amazing country. Yeah, so I really hope that we are able to make a difference for the pangolins and stop this unnecessary poaching of them, because just like the rhino horn and the shark fins, there is no medical proof that their scales can assist in any sort of medical condition, and it is a totally unnecessary practice. So thank you so much for listening to me today. Bye.